Hey guys, Cam 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and back with another Los Angeles Clippers video for you guys. As I'm here to talk about multiple topics here. Um, just multiple topics. Um, talk a little bit about Kawhi Leonard opting out, or the whole USA issue that came up. I'll dive a little bit. I'll probably start with that real quick. I want to talk about, obviously, the big thing is Russell Westbrook is no longer a Clipper. Chris Dunn is now a Clippers. Clippers traded Russell Westbrook. I want to give my thoughts about that whole aspect legitimately. And then I want to talk a little bit Summer League stuff from what I saw in terms of, like, okay, maybe youth wise, we're looking pretty good, and we got some good diamonds in the rough that I hope get an opportunity to play. But let's get off with the Kawhi stuff. So obviously Kawhi opted out of USA basketball, which I think was the best decision made because it only preserves his health. And barring any crazy thing happening, we know the Clippers need his health to stay even relevant. Um, Now, initially it felt like, okay, it was a mutual decision between the Clippers and Team USA basketball and even Kawhi's camp, that it's probably best for Kawhi to opt out and not join Team USA basketball for the Olympics this year. And I was all for it, regardless. Now, Lawrence Frank ended up having a press conference, and basically, essentially, he talked about how he was quite disappointed in Team USA's basketball's decision to leave Kawhi out, which made it kind of up in the air, wondering and making people speculate, like, okay, um, maybe Kawhi isn't hurt. Maybe this wasn't a thing of a mutual party and a mutual agreement. It may, Lawrence Frank kind of made it sound like it was like Grant Hill and USA basketball that basically said, yeah, no, we're not going to use Kawhi. Now, look, I know people have been tying things to the fact that the Nike and Kawhi had a whole case and issue with Nike in the past. Um, Regardless, what are my thoughts about this potentially now? If there is some weird collusion and stuff like that in terms of, Grant Hill and USA basketball being like, we're not gonna go with Kawhi, even though he looked good in practice and everything. My only thing would be like, well, you got two injury-prone players on your freaking basketball, uh, on your national basketball team, which is Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant, he's kind of nursing a calf injury right now, right? So it's like, all right, what the hell are we doing here? If you're gonna kick Kawhi off, well then why are KD and Joel Embiid, two injury-prone players? Why are they on the team? But whatever, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Regardless, I still think at the end of the day, it was a mutual agreement by the Clippers and a mutual agreement by USA Basketball and maybe Kawhi's camp of to have Kawhi not play in Olympic basketball because they want the Clippers, especially on the Clippers side, probably want him more ready and making sure he's healthy going into the Intuit Dome, which just seeing the clips of that presentation that is happening in Intuit, it only makes me a lot more excited to potentially go to a game, hopefully night one, and be able see when the tickets go on sale for night one. I'm gonna buy my tickets that same day, that same night. I'm gonna call anybody I can call that wants to potentially go with me. I'm gonna buy my tickets because I know them damn tickets at opening night are gonna be sold the fuck out, just to get up in the building. But regardless, I feel like it was a mutual thing, and it was mostly the Clippers wanting to not have Kawhi play and risk any chance of him not opening the season up and into it, and everything. So, I don't care as long as Kawhi. And I always took this approach, like I don't want Kawhi playing exhibition games and playing in Olympic basketball play, which it's a lot more physical of a game. And plus, I don't want him to put more miles on his body, more miles on those degenerative knees that could give out at a moment's notice. Like, I don't want to see him playing basketball, try to compete for a meaningless gold medal. I'd rather him try his damnedest to see if he can maybe uh, get the Clippers to a potential championship, even though we know it ain't gonna happen. But I'd rather see Kawhi play for my team in hopes of potentially trying to win a championship, not trying to win a meaningless gold medal. Who the hell cares? And if somebody wants to say, well, it's a gold medal, it's the Olympics and everything, I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, it is a meaningless gold fucking medal that doesn't hold cake to what an NBA trophy to a team that doesn't have a championship in their history means more. That's fine. I've watched the United States get so many damn gold medals in whatever sport. I want to see the Clippers actually win a damn NBA championship, and then I can freaking take home and be like, all right, now my team's a champion. I don't care about a meaningless gold medal and about Kawhi wanting to get one. How about he try to go get me a freaking championship for my favorite franchise? Well, there's that. Leave it at that. Next up, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is no longer a Los Angeles Clipper anymore. He is now going to more than likely be a Denver Nugget. And basically what happened is the Clippers ended up trading Russell Westbrook away to the Jazz. The Jazz finally gave in. The Jazz basically took him on while they traded us Chris Dunn, who we signed to a 3-year extension worth around $17 million a year. Essentially, you get that point, you get that contract, which getting Chris Dunn, that's a very good on-ball defender, a very good guard defender. That's great. That's good. Obviously, scoring-wise, he's not the best at all, but he's mostly a defensive guy. Another guard. Now, the only issue with this pickup is where does that leave Bones? And in Lawrence Frank's press conference, he kind of alluded to the fact that it seems like Bones Highland will more than likely be traded for more assets or something else they can get in return or whatever. We'll see, but it sounds like that's what's going to happen with Bones Highland, and it looks like Bones Highland time as a Clipper will be coming up. So if he ends up potentially getting traded, I will definitely make a move about that. But and I'll talk a little bit about Bones Highland with the whole Russell Westbrook situation and everything. But regardless, I can even say it now with Bones Highland. It's so fucked up that he never really legitimately got a full out opportunity with the Clippers after being traded to the Clippers from the Denver Nuggets. It's really a damn shame. And it just goes to show you how bad of a roster constructor Lawrence Frank is. And the fact that he had these influx of guards on his team, it stunted certain players getting opportunities, certain players getting playing time. And Bones was one of them, and now he's going to be a fucking casualty because you traded a pick away for this guy. Only two. Yeah, really only pick and a player. Only to get this guy on your team. So yeah, anyways. Russell Westbrook. Yeah, he ended up getting traded to the Jazz. While we got Chris Dunn in return, the Jazz ended up buying out his contract, and basically it sets the stage for him to essentially go in and to basically go and be a Denver Nugget and join Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic. So that's what we're getting out of this whole thing. Look, Russell Westbrook had his highs and his highs, and I'm being as objective as I can be. I'm not trying to be a hater or anything about Russell Westbrook. When his highs were high, his lows were lows. That's basically Russell Westbrook in grand scheme of things at this point in his career. If he's being very productive, he can be productive for a few minutes in a game and the highs will be very high. But if he's very bad and he's not hitting he's not hitting shots, and he's not making layups, and he's not really guarding good enough, and he's turning the ball over, those are his lows, and that were issues. Now, regardless, when I reflect on Russell Westbrook's time as a Clipper, at the end of the day, some of it wasn't fair to him, and he didn't ask to be put in this situation. I kind of blame half of it just to really, and if not most of it, on the front office. This dates back to 2 years ago when we first got him. If not for the guy who shall not be named anymore on this channel, who I said I would stop talking about, was basically crying to the media that he wanted to get his best friend to join the team. To join the team. What is it? It made Lawrence Frank make a stupid, rash decision, and he just listened. He just freaking just submitted to the man who shall not be named on this channel anymore. And it went against his own code, because if you remember, Lawrence Frank talked about wanting a point guard that can shoot and can also defend as well. Russell Westbrook does not fit that description. He can't shoot for shit. He's an all right defender, but he's a lot older, but he's still not the best defender. He's still not a good defender, but he's all right. It's passable defense. But when he locks in, it can actually be pretty solid defense. There was times with the Clippers, he had some really good defense, especially in that St. Phoenix Suns playoff series. He played phenomenal. But that was the Lawrence Frank went against his word on that. And the type of point guard really that Lawrence Frank was kind of describing, really I could think in layman's terms, is like a Drew Holiday. Again, I don't know why they didn't go after Drew Holiday when he got traded to the Portland Trailblazers, but that doesn't bother me at all, right? But we needed to go for star power, huh? Yeah, you clearly see how much help Drew Holiday provided the Celtics in terms of getting them a damn championship. Anyways, they bring on Russell Westbrook, and the first 6 games weren't too pretty, but he was still had energy. He brought something to us. And regardless, you know, his tenure in that first half year was really solid. So then that's when it brought up the whole James Harden stuff about the Clippers being interested, and that's kind of where the Lawrence Frank messed up. He should have never gave Russell Westbrook a contract extension. He should have said, well, hopefully we just gave you an avenue to sign with another team, and hopefully a team will take a chance on you and you can get the money you want. No, he ends up re-signing Russell Westbrook, and then only 3 games in the season trades for James Harden. It messes up the entire flow of everything that was going on. You then have to bench Russell Westbrook, which I think honestly is regardless. At the time, I was like, honestly, because James Harden is the new guy, you bench him first, you put him on coming off the bench, and then maybe you can flip it at some point later in the season, right? But no, they didn't do that. They tried to play it. It didn't work. They didn't play well together. I don't give a crap what anybody says. That doesn't. Their lineups together never worked in their advanced ages. Because the thing is, both those guys need the basketball in their hands to operate, and it's hard because for Russ, he can never play off ball because he can't shoot. And then James Harden, for some odd reason, even though he's got a good skilled game, he ain't really that good off ball either, you know? So that's the thing. But regardless, that's kind of when it messed everything up. And then, you know, that's the thing. And I hold Lawrence Frank personally responsible. If Lawrence Frank was interested in trying to acquire James Harden, he should have never even looked at resigning Russell Westbrook, but they did. Why? No idea. And Russell Westbrook was up and down throughout the season last year. Again, like I said, the same old. His highs are highs, his lows are lows. And then you get to the playoff series against the Dallas Mavericks. Outside of maybe game 2, which I thought he should have stayed in that game. And if we had kept him in that game when the Clippers were up, we would have won that game. But then Ty Lue did a dumbass decision and took him out, and it completely changed momentum. And when by the time Russell Westbrook got back into the game, it was too little, too late. I was at that game live. I could tell we need to keep Russell Westbrook in the game. He's changing the momentum of how we're playing. He's making us play all better. Let's do it and keep James on the bench. But no, Ty Lue didn't do that. And then really after that game, he had that one scuffle, and it just went from bad to worse. And he had arguably one of his worst playoff I wouldn't say moments, but his playoff like series of his entire career. He was just awful. He couldn't hit shit. He couldn't do anything. He shot like he was like probably one of the worst um players from the field shooting the ball, and he would have a very low percentage in terms of making his shots. And it's like since that moment in game 3, the Dallas Mavericks got in the dude's head and he never recovered from that point on. But you know, look, at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook, I will appreciate his time being a Clipper. I never thought that Russell Westbrook would ever be a Clipper at some point. Being a fan, I always watched this guy when he was on the, you know, obviously the OKC Thunder, and then he ended up getting traded and everything and stuff like that. So it's crazy. It's crazy to see that he was actually a Clipper. And regardless, I thought he was okay in what he brought to us in the role that he did. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, will I ultimately miss him? No, I will not. I will not miss Russell Westbrook, but unlike any other players that I hate or I dislike, he will not be getting the good riddance tag from me. So I will not be saying good riddance. I'll be saying thank you for what you've done and what you gave us, Russell Westbrook, and best of luck to you in Denver. But a guy like, for example, PJ Tucker, no, good riddance. I don't want to see this man on my team ever again. Good riddance. He will not be missed. Russell Westbrook will not be missed, but he will not be missed for special reasons, and that's because of his damn annoying ass Russell Westbrook stands, who think that Russell Westbrook is still in his damn prime from 2016, 2015 OKC Thunder shit, when he's way past his prime. They just don't want to accept he isn't that good. And they freaking just vouch for him all the damn time. And they just won't say one negative thing. And you say one negative thing about him, they come they come and flood your inboxes. That's the best thing about this move, about moving off of Russell Westbrook, is his damn stands are gone. And of course his stands are gonna be like, oh, fuck the Clippers and everything. They ain't gonna do nothing special. Oh, who the hell cares? Yeah, Russell Westbrook ran and took his ball to go to fucking Dallas, or not Dallas, Denver. So for my Denver Nugget fans who are potentially checking this video out, good luck. I would highly request you stay off Twitter, because these people are damn lunatics. Not all of them are. There are actually some Russell Westbrook stan accounts that actually talk really damn good ball, and they are objective. But there's a whole nother grouping, which, my God, they'll say that he's better than fucking Nikola Jokic. That's how crazy these people believe they think Russell Westbrook is that good. And guess what? He's coming off the bench, Russell Westbrook stands. He's coming off the bench. He's not playing the number 2 to Jamal Murray, and he's not starting. He will be a backup on Denver, and he needs to accept that. If he's gonna have an ego about it, well then maybe he just might need to look himself in the mirror and realize he's not that guy anymore. He's just a bench guy now. This might more than likely will probably be his last team, and then I could see him signing a one-day contract with the Thunder and then retiring as a Thunder, because really, technically, if you want to say who is, you know, the Thunder's best player, it really can be Kevin Durant, if you want to be honest, but like who epitomizes the Oklahoma City Thunder is Russell Westbrook. That's why people called him Mr. Thunder, Mr. OKC. You know, so that's the thing right then and there with that whole situation, right? And then last thing but not least, I want to talk a little bit about Summer League play. The Clippers ended up actually going into the semifinals for the Summer League, but they ended up losing a close game to the Memphis Grizzlies. I think Kobe Brown missed a game-tying free throw shot, and it costed them the game. But regardless, when you look up and down what the Summer League, in terms of certain players, did, they were cool. Cam Christie wasn't, he didn't have like breakout games, and obviously he's just getting adjusted to the league and everything, but there were some moments Cam Christie had, and you can see some potential that he has within him. So we'll see as he grows and develops. He's definitely going to be with the San Diego or the Oceanside Clippers or whatever it is, and he's going to be developing right then and there within the G League at his young age and stuff like that. And hopefully he does really well in the G League. Kobe Brown, I thought outside of that first game, he showed up and he did his job and he played a lot better. Obviously, there's things to improve with Kobe Brown. Um, but you can make the case, okay, there's something there that we could potentially work with. And maybe, if he gets some reps in the regular season next year, maybe you can take advantage of the fact that he's still, even though he's in his middle 20s, it's still a young player that could maybe potentially help the Clippers in the future. And it could be a situation maybe like a Terrence Mann where he blossoms later. And if given a good enough consistent playing time and given enough of a shot and he shows up, maybe he can be good. And with another year under his belt, he definitely showed that, hey, he can be a solid piece, a solid role player for us. I don't think he's going to turn into a superstar or anything, but a solid role player that can be a good complementary piece to whatever we got cooking. And again, it's another youthful guy. But I think the one guy that everybody was impressed with, all Clipper fans were impressed with this entire summer league, was Jordan Miller. Now, Jordan Miller, he was killing it in the G League. He was killing it. He was like 8th in the G League in terms of scoring. And then he comes in Summer League, and then he takes over. That first game, man, where he dropped 36 points. Holy hell. Talk about I want a damn contract moment. And he played really well this entire run of the Summer League. Jordan Miller, because I have the stats actually up here, he averaged 25.4 points a game in the Summer League. He had 4.2 rebounds. He had 2.6 and 2.6 assists, 0.8 blocks. He had 1.4 steals, and he was the team leader in minutes at 28 minutes a game. Just seeing what Jordan Miller gave the Clippers throughout this run of Summer League play, it just further confirmed to me that he needs a legitimate NBA contract. He legitimately needs to be on the main roster, and he also legitimately needs to get legitimate minutes and get an opportunity for legitimate minutes. You can't take away and see what he did in Summer League and be like, all right, who knows if this translates to the NBA. But if he can just if he gets legitimate opportunities on the main roster, and he's scoring maybe 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 points a game, and he's averaging that, you're getting your bang for your buck right there. And you're making it worth his time. He's young, he's hungry, he's proven, and he's upcoming. And I really liked what Jordan Miller gave us this entire Summer League. And he played like he wanted to show Lawrence Frank and Steve Ballmer, hey, I understand you like all these other pieces, and you're trading for all these other pieces, and you're making moves, but hey, don't forget about me. I'm a solid player. Give me an opportunity, and I'll show you what I can do. He hit his threes. He took the ball to the basket. He was playing with confidence. That's what I like to see in a young player. This is the type of young player we need. And this is what I mean. Jordan Miller really looks like he could be a really good diamond in the rough player. And if he gets an opportunity and the Clippers continue to develop him, I'm not saying he's going to turn into a superstar player or anything, but he legitimately could be a homegrown star talent player for the Clippers if he continues to develop really nicely and he continues to step his game up. He could really be a really solid star player. And that's something in this time we actually legitimately need. We just need youth. We need an up-and-coming person that's willing to want to be hungry and take a step in their play. And I was really impressed with Jordan Miller. Just all the games I heard he had, and then, I'm just like, this dude needs to get legitimate playing time. Like, if he gets to the main roster, he gets offered an actual contract, and he gets on the main roster. I don't want him sitting on the bench. I don't want him sitting on the far of the bench like we do of all the other G League-ish like players we got on the roster. No, give Ty Lue, I need you to give him legitimately a good opportunity to prove himself and let him sink or swim at the NBA level. We got to see if he can handle this. The only way we can see if he can handle this if he gets a legitimate playing time. The reason why other guys in the past, like a Brandon Boston Jr. and everything, and everyone else, like a Bones Highland, they were always inconsistent. And they never got consistent playing time, and they never were able to show what they had because the coach does not like to play young players. The Clippers do not like to have young players in the team. They like to invest in senior citizens. So Jordan Miller played great. He ended up actually finishing in Summer League first team. And so yeah, this the first team Summer League for the NBA. I don't know why the Nets guy in Summer League won MVP of the Summer League when he was not even on the first team Summer League team. How the hell can you win MVP and you weren't even on the first team? You can make the argument that Jordan Miller should have been the MVP of Summer League. That's how good he was in the Summer League. That's how good. And you can make the argument if you take him off the Clippers don't get to the semifinals in Summer League. They don't. And he was one of the main factors why they got to the semifinals, and he was that damn good. So I hope Lawrence Frank offers him a contract, a legitimate NBA contract with the Clippers, and Ty Lue gives him the opportunity to play. I think we have something special in Jordan Miller. I'm not saying he can be a superstar, but he can be a very talented player for us in the future. And again, like I said, we need to get younger. He's a young piece. He's a young piece that developed really nicely last year in the G League. He could potentially get more development on the main roster. Let's just give these guys the young chance. Let's give these guys, these young dudes we have on this team, an opportunity to prove his stuff. And then we'll see, okay, was this just G League and Summer League stuff, or is he actually legit? Because I want to see him play in a serious NBA game and prove, can he hang in the NBA? I think he's got the talent. I think he's got the hustle. He's hungry too. I'm just afraid that the Clippers front brass and the coach won't acknowledge that and won't see that and won't reward him. And this is what I'm talking about. You look with the eye test, not with the head test, and you don't look at the fucking analytics. Look with the goddamn eye test. Jordan Miller earned a spot. In my eyes, Jordan Miller earned it. He earned the right to have a spot on this main roster for the Clippers. He earned it. He should already have a seat ready for him. But we don't know what the Clippers are going to do. We don't know. So we'll definitely see. Hopefully Jordan Miller ends up getting on the main roster and hopefully he gets an opportunity. But that's all. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to get out of here. So put in the comment section your thoughts about any of the topics I talked about in this video today, and things like that. Give me your thoughts about Russell Westbrook leaving the Clippers. Give me your thoughts about this Kawhi USA basketball situation, which USA basketball damn near fighting for their life just to beat South Sudan and fucking Germany. I'm not saying Kawhi changes anything, but wild how South Sudan almost beat these dudes, and then Germany almost took them to the wire too. Well, I'm not saying not the wire, but they almost lost to Germany. Then also give me your thoughts about Summer League. Put in the comment section if there's anybody from Summer League that you thought I didn't highlight well enough that I should have. And what's your thoughts on Jordan Miller potentially making the big roster? Do you want him to make the roster? Do you think he deserves a chance to be on the roster, in the main roster, and get an opportunity to play? Just leave that in the comment section, and I'll talk with you guys on the next Clippers video or whatever video I talk about next. Again, stay tuned for NFL videos and stuff like that. Again, if you want to get my thoughts on my Chicago Bears, hit that subscribe button if you want to do that. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Till then, guys, peace.